Right, I hope you can see my screen. I want to say thank you all for being here. For those of us who are here for the first time, thank you for coming. For those who have been here before, you are most welcome. I hope you can see my screen. We started this material last week and it was very explosive. We started with laying the necessary foundation. We talked about um, the river that flowed in Eden. I hope we still remember those of us who are here last week. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 10, there is a scripture. Let me put that up so that for those who were not here last week, I'll just quickly run a recap so that at least we can also still have a glimpse of what we did last week. We shared this scripture last week, and we said a river flowed through the Garden of Eden, and that river, one river out of Eden to water the gardens. The whole essence of that river is to water the garden. And then from there, it was parted. Who parted it, nobody knows. But whoever planted the river or planted the garden must have been the one that parted it. A river was flowing through a garden. This garden, from what we all know, the Garden of Eden was made by God. And if the Garden of Eden was made by God, that means the river that flowed through must have been made by God. And the whole essence of that river was to water the garden. And after a while, you will see invited comma. Invited comma means that something has happened between and maybe could not be explained. And then the scripture says, and from thence means from that one river, it was parted and became into four head. That means the whole essence and the purpose of the river is to water the garden. So something must have happened for God to come back again and now part one river into four. He divided the egg as the water is flowing through from the entrance. He parted it into four eggs. And then they gave the name of the four. They said one of them is Pison, another one is Gihon, another one is Hiddekel, and another one is the river Euphrates. And most of us who are Christian, you must have heard about one or two of these rivers in Bible history, even up till now. River Euphrates still existing today. So, what was the reason for parting into four? First, we should understand the reason why the river was even created. It was to water the garden. So if God created one water to water the garden, and suddenly God left and came back and divided the same water into four, that means possibly the water was not doing the complete job for watering the garden. So we took this concept to understand that the garden is like our own life. It's like you and I, our life. We are like garden. We are like God's garden. God raised us. God built us. And our life, in practical reality, is like our finances, our day-to-day life, our family, our school, our children, our environment, our accommodation, our transportation, the food we eat, the rent we pay, everything that is like our life. And all of those things I just mentioned needs water. And water in reality now is money. Your rent, you need money. Children education, your food, the food at home, whatever you are doing now, transportation, you need money. So everything in your life needs something that needs to push it forward to the next level, which is like water, which is money. So if you are a salary earner and all you make is not filling the gap in your expenses in life, it just telling you that your salary is not enough. You have to divide it into four heads. If you're a business owner, you have a shop, you are making money every day, and you go to shop, you come back, or whatever business you are doing, or either online you are selling things, and despite all the things you are selling, you look back in 3 years, 5 years, and still discover that literally you are most like the same. Yeah, you are maybe after 2-3 years, you bought a TV, you bought generator, you bought this, you bought that. But you see, because our life has always been buy. So we do business, we make money, we buy. We do business, we make money, we buy. We do business, we make money, we buy. And after the buying, we spend the rest money in servicing our garden. Because your garden will always need something. You understand? So over the course of 3-5 years, you look back, it's still the same rat race, the same cycle. You are not really breaking even. You are not really forging ahead. You are not really creating a bigger impact. You know, when you are doing the same business, you are still at the same level. You won't know the impact. But when you see someone who has started a business in 5 years, they are riding in Rolls Royce and they are building mansion, what you will be saying in your mind is that only God knows where they get money from. Only God knows, maybe they go do drug or they go do some crazy shit and all of that. And that's what people say. However, it's not always the truth for everybody. Some people understood this thing I'm sharing with you. So at the early stage of their life, when they start making the money, they put certain system in place. And that is why we talked about the system last week. 3 weeks ago, we were still talking about systems. So this is where we started from last. So let's jump from here because we're able to build this foundation. That by virtue of God's plan for everybody, every person is supposed to have minimum 4 streams of income. If you look at your screen, I'm trying to make AI to generate me. Maybe he's still working on it as we're talking right now. Generate me a better image. Maybe when the image comes, I'll show you guys next Tuesday. A better image so that you understand what I'm talking about. When the river is flowing through, if you look at your screen, you see that river flowing in the middle. That circle is like the garden. And those green dots beside are the fruits and all the plants in the garden. So when one river is flowing through the middle of a garden, and if your garden is big, you see, that's another condition. Some people, they have 1 or 2 children. Some people have 4 children. So their garden is bigger. Some people, their expenses, they are still single. So their expenses is just limited to their singleness. By the time they get married and that's having children, they now know that their garden is now bigger. So if this green cycle is somebody's garden and one water is flowing from the center, it only flows from the center. If this garden is a small garden, let's do an example right now. Let's say this garden is apparently a very small garden, very small. Let's say something like this. Of course, when this water comes in here, it will flow through everything. Once it goes into the ground, from the ground, all the fruits and the trees will absorb. But if your garden is big like this green, that means even if the water flows through in the middle, all the plants at the edges of the garden will not be able to suck enough water. So what God did is to break the river into 4 heads, so that one will go this way, the other one will go that way, this one will go this way, the other one will go that way, so that all the plants can start having water from their roots. You understand? We said, from virtue of God's plan, every one of us is like the river. We are like the garden. We are supposed to have minimum 4 streams of income to keep our garden constantly and continuously wetted. If it's not up to 4, then you are still not up to the plan. No one billionaire has 1 stream of income. Everybody has more than 4. Some of them even 7 or more, some of them 15. So the call is now on you and I. And this was the foundation we set last week. So let's go to the book we're actually pushing into, which is written. Can we see the screen? Yes, that's it. Which is written by Robert G. Allen, Multiple Streams of Income. The book was written by G. Allen, and then it was published sometime in 2005. That book will help your finances, self-help, personal education, wealth management, and what have you. So what's a summary of this book from chapter 1? Let's quickly run through the summary and we can start going deep into the main teachings so that before we round it up for today. Multiple streams of income introduces the central idea that financial freedom is not reserved for the wealthy or those who with high income, but is achievable for ordinary people who understand and apply the same principle of financial management and investment. So it's not that some people have 2 heads and that's why they are rich. No. It's not that some people are making more money, that's why they are rich. It's not that some people, they have connection than you. Yes, connection can add to it, but majority of all these wealthy people, they started from scratch. They are like ordinary people who understand what is called wealth management or money management and investment, and then they put those things they understood, they put it to work, and it changed their life. Can you still hear me, please? Can you still hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Okay. And I want to be sure that my screen is moving. If it's not moving, please let me know. So chapter 1 emphasized the surprising power of small, consistent saving. Small, consistent saving. And that is one of the things that majority of us will mostly overlook. Majority of low income, middle class people, we mostly overlook it. Some of us have done part of this before. You've done like a Susu, you have done those wosi, thrift and contribution, microfinancing, those small savings. But if you look at the industry today, you find that a lot of people are not more into that thing anymore. In the last maybe 15, 20 years ago, a lot of people were doing that. Today, people are not doing that again. What people are doing now is to go to microfinance bank and collect loan. It's just about collecting loan. What a lot of market people are doing now is just collect loan. They collect the loan and the microfinance bank is running after them to collect their money back. That is what today's Nigerian small business environment. Market people, they go and collect loan from microfinance bank and they are running after them to return the money. They don't return the money, or they say they are returning the money little by little. They have to be calling them and running after them. Some people even use somebody else as collateral and they are running after those people. So small consistency saving showing how even a modest amount, such as even $1 a day. $1 a day is about 1,400. Let's say a range of 1,000 to 1,400, depending on the kind of dollar you're talking about. Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, American dollar, there are different dollars. Can grow into significant wealth over time through compound interest. Allen uses this concept to challenge the common belief that one must earn large sum of money before they begin to build wealth. It is not true. You don't need to hit jackpot before you build wealth. Before you actually become millionaire, you don't need to hit jackpot. You don't need to do one, say, oh, if I do one, I just make it once, I'm made forever. It's not like that. There are people they give millions of money to, and because they don't have what is called management understanding, they lavish everything. So, Allen was explaining here and introduces the core mindset of wealth building. That means wealth building is not about the money, it's about the understanding or the mindset. I repeat, wealth building is not about how much you make, it's about the mindset behind the money that was made. So if you are making low money or low income people, you're a low income person, or you are making small amount of money in your trade, if you understand wealth building, you have the mindset for that, you can actually build more wealth than somebody who is making a large sum of money more than you. The author explained that financial freedom is not about earning a huge salary, it's about how you manage it, save it, and grow small amount of money over consistently. The key idea is even small daily savings like 1,000 a day can turn into large wealth through what is called compound interest. And the author further highlights the importance of developing the right financial mindset early. So early means when people are talking about something, majority of us, we hear it, we know it, we don't practice it. And after 5 years, or let's say 2 years, 3 years, we find out that we are still in the same spot. And while we're seeking knowledge and asking questions and going to seminar and listening to tapes or video or messages like this, we remember that, oh, I've had this thing a long time. And then you find out that you have not done what they told you to do. You know, okay, maybe I will try again. And every year, New Year resolution, you cross from December to January. You say, oh, January 1st, this year, I want to do this, I want to do that. By the time activities, distraction, political nonsense happening in Nigeria, the street, and all kind of things, gossiping, social media happen again, kidnapping, news. We forget our goal and what we are pursuing. We are caught up with the activities of the world, and before you open your eyes, it's June, it's July, that year is gone again. You are not being able to achieve anything. I remember here I was asking some people that was it 3-4 weeks ago, I was asking everybody that was in the meeting, how many of you bought a piece of land last year? A piece of land, just one, even that is inside in the bush. How many of you bought a piece of land? I think only 3 people raised their hand out of almost 20 people. So you can see how most of us, we are not taking the bold step into that thing we want to achieve in our life, but we want a miracle to happen. So we rather go to church and pray for the miracle, whereas God has given you the brain so that you can give him the rest. So rather than focusing solely on earning more money, complaining about the salary is not enough, or the money, you are trying to cheat your customer so that you can get more money from them, you know, instead of doing all that. Whatever you make, why not take control of certain things? Get into the mode of management and control your spending. Avoid buying irrelevant things, and then set consistent portion of your income into investment. Consistent, discipline. It has to be what? It has to be consistent. If it's not consistent, then it's going to be very difficult to achieve it. He stresses that wealth is built through discipline and long-term thinking. You said that earlier. Not through quick win or luck. Yeah, you can win money, let's say jackpot or Baba Jebu or whatever we do in Nigeria. We can all do that. Please, somebody who's making noise should mute themselves. Keep yourself mute. I'm muting you, you keep on your mic. Please stop muting, or putting on your mic. It's distracting other people. So, by illustrating how time and consistent multiply even the smallest investment, the chapter reframe well-being as a gradual and achievable process. So it is gradual and it is achievable. So overall, the chapter 1 set the foundation for the rest of the book by shifting the reader's perspective from immediate consumption of long-term financial goals, financial growth. It encourages readers to take responsibility for their financial future. So if you are either reading this book or you are hearing my commentary today, it's telling you one thing, that the responsibility is still yours. The responsibility is yours. By starting small, staying consistent, and allowing time, over time, compound growth to work in their favor. So let's go into the main teaching. About 6 of them. We'll run through it for tonight. and we are good to go. And I hope you guys can learn one or two things. The first thing he mentioned is small money can grow big even in tough economies. So it has nothing to do with Buhari or Tinubu or Basajo or Jonathan. There are people who are even making more money in today's economy than they have ever made in the past. The economy could be loosed, things could be happening, but people are still making money. And this lesson challenges the belief that only large sum of money can create wealth. It's not true. If you have large sum of money, I don't have anything against it. You can use that to build wealth if you have what is called the mindset. The author explained that even very small amount of money, when saved and invested consistently, can grow significantly over time due to compound interest. Where your money earns return, and those return also earns return for you. And I want to buttress that a large number of us here, you may be some of us, we've done investment here and there. You guys need to start exploring investing in what is called compound interest investment. Compound interest investment is not something extravagant, it's not something big. It's just like you put money somewhere, they say they'll give you 150 kobo interest, no matter how little. When they give you the interest on that money, instead of you collecting the money back and the interest when the money matures, let's say after 6 months or 1 year, they say, okay, you give us 100,000, we'll give you 120,000. So at the end of 1 year, instead of collecting your 120,000, you return the 120,000 back into the investment for the second year. And that's what they call compound interest. So by the second year, they were not going to give you 120,000 anymore. They'll give you the interest on 120. So let's say maybe they give you 10% or 20%. So you're going to have about 140 by the second year. So that means your 100,000 by first year can grow and keep growing every year on compounding. That's what it's called compound interest. And there are businesses like that, there are investments like that in Nigeria. You need to find them. You need to find them. You need to put your money there. The real advantage comes from time, not the size. You see? So that means when they tell you to do something at a particular time, you didn't do it that time. You wait another time. It's not like they asked you to plant a mango tree 20 years ago, you don't plant it. Now, 20 years later, now you are older and there's so much sun, you build your own house, and then you are sitting in front of the house under the sun, there's no tree. If you have planted a mango tree 20 years ago, you will be blocking mango and be sitting under the mango tree by now. You understand? So, but it is still not too late. It's still better to plant it now than to wait for another 20 years. So it's a function of time, means that what you and I are supposed to have done when we are younger 20 years ago is we are suffering it today because we didn't do it 20 years ago. What you are going through financially now, imagine the knowledge, the understanding, and the maturity you have now. You know those things 20 years ago, and you start implementing some of the things we know then. We don't understand them, but we've heard about them. But because we feel like, I don't know much about it, Darren, so you don't want to do it. Some people are gullible, they just started doing it by themselves, and they saw the result after many years. It's more like they are taking the risk, but you decided not to take the risk. Putting your mango seed in the ground is taking the risk because you might not see the seed anymore. It goes into the ground, it decays, you won't see that seed again, but it comes forth into a tree for you, which will benefit you in the nearest future. So it's a function of time, not size. It is not much. See, for me, I'm not motivated or moved when I see people when they make money so quick, like make a lot of money. You know, what I will use to judge, the yardstick I use is this person a builder or a one-time millionaire? Because there are people who are one-time millionaires, they just make the money so fast, and in 3-4 years time, they are now begging their neighbors for sugar and onions to cook soup and salt. They are broke, you understand? So you have to understand what is that person into. So starting early allows your money more time to multiply. In simple time, it's like planting a seed and allowing it to grow over many years. Saving a small amount daily may feel insignificant, but over time, it accumulates and begins to generate its own growth. Many people ignore small savings. Yes, we all do. We all do. All of us listen to me today. We don't save. It's so rare. The only time you see people save is when they are doing maybe cooperative or a job. You know, when they are doing cooperative. And I think even in our community, Greenfield, we should encourage people to be saving. We want to see if by this coming month, we want to open our investment and saving platform that will allow members to save within the community. We have come to realize that our organization has come to stay, regardless what anybody will say. We've been here on ground for close to 15 years now, through iStar Monitoring. Before iStar Monitoring, through Gospel for almost 30 years now. So we have come a long way, and we have nowhere going. We're still like fresh-minded. For the next 20 years to 25 years, we have developed a plan for the Greenfield community. So if you're a smart person for the next 5 years, you should be saving, you'll be investing. Once we open that platform, I will encourage all of you that want to be part of that to save through that or to invest through that. You understand? It's not a topic because that's not what I want to talk about tonight. But let's go on. So many people ignore small failures, and because they seem too minor, that money looks so small. But this mindset is what prevents long-term wealth. So if you're saying that money is too small to save, 100 naira, 200 naira, I have a piggy bank in my room as I'm speaking to you. Like we call it colo. We call it colo. I have a colo in my room as I'm speaking to you right now. I put small money there, $5, $10, $5, $10. I put it there. If I remember, there was a time I used to put even big money there, 500. I just in a month, my target is every month I put $500 there. And when I'm opening the colo, you see how much I'm excited to use the money to do something very important in my life. So it could look small, but you see, the joy is by the time you are harvesting it, you start smiling. It's like a farmer that is planting those seeds. When they are harvesting, you see the joy on their face. So it's not the amount that actually will change your life. It is the habit. So that when you create that habit with small money, you see, by the time you have big money, the habit is already inside of you. What you don't have, you can't give. That is how life is. What you don't have, you can't give. Small is mighty when it becomes a habit. Small is mighty. It might look small, but when it becomes a habit, it's like drop of water, drop of water, drop of water. It is small. But when that small becomes an habit, that habit keep continue. Before you know it, that small water become a big river, and they become an ocean that can sweep somebody away. I hope somebody's listening to me tonight. So start small and start now. Stop waiting. Most of people delay savings or doing investment because they believe that business is still small. When you have this mindset, you see, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. There are a lot of things that we suffer in Africa that is mindset that is our problem. And I'm not talking about money alone. Even in everything, including culture, including religion. Our mindset is a problem. Why most of us are where we are today is not because we don't have access to small opportunities. It's because our mindset is so myopic, it's so short. I have been a victim too, and I'm telling you the truth here. I remember sometimes in 2014, I met a young lady, 2013, 2014, who was sharing her encounter, her story with me. I think at that time she was about 33 or 32, 33, I can't remember. We're just talking about life generally, and was telling me how her two kids, she has twins, daughters, how they were the best in school. She was about 33. They were the best in school, and she's so happy, and her dad is not happy. And I said, yeah, everybody has to be happy when the kids are doing well in school. He said, no, you don't understand the story. I said, what is the story? She said, you can't believe that I got pregnant when I was 15. I said, what? He said, yes, I got pregnant when I was 15. These children I'm talking about now, they are 13 and they are the best in school. I got pregnant when I was 15 or so, I think now. But these kids were just like in their secondary school, junior secondary school, I think they're 13 or 14. So, but the bottom line of the story was that when she was 15, 16, she got pregnant, and the father brought cutlass to cut her head. She ran away, far away, and go and hide at grandma's place. That's where she was. She dropped out of school. By the time she had the baby, she found out she had twins. So the grandma helped to save those children, and she had the baby. The father said, I don't want to see you. You're a bastard. You're like this. You're like that. Never come back to this house. I disown you. You know the normal cultural thing we normally do in Africa. And then, God bless him, this girl had twins, and the grandma helped to raise these twins. While they were raising these children, they asked this girl to go back to school, and she went back to finish her school. In fact, she was working in the port authorities at this time we were talking. She was sharing this story with me. Long story short now, fast forward, is that now the father now wants to see those children. And she's so proud that those children are the best in school. This is where I'm going. If that girl has aborted the pregnancy because the father wants to kill her, will anybody be rejoicing today that this is what is called mindset? See, our mindset in Africa, our mindset both culturally, religiously, and every otherwise, has kept most of us, majority of us in bondage, in traps. There are things some of us here want to do in life that you could not do some 20 years ago in your life. Because of what? What will people say? What will people say has kept so many people in trap? What will people say has killed so many women who are suffering abuse in their marriages? So because of what people say, she knows she's been abused, she knows this guy will kill him one day, but she doesn't want to divorce because of what will people say, because of what the church will say. Oh, I don't want to know that. They don't want to know in my church that I divorced. What I'm telling you today is practicality. Me too, I have witnessed this. What will people say? So we get trapped in something we are not happy with. We are living in sadness of our life. We are not fulfilling our destiny because of what will people say. I've said this time sometimes, and that's the truth. So people in business, if you look at your business and say, oh, this business is still small. the money you are making is too small. So your mindset tells you that it's not a good time to be saving. Profit is not enough yet. That's one thing you tell yourself, that we don't make enough profit. So when we make enough profit, you will start saving. It's a stupid myopic mindset. It's a very, very myopic mindset. Oh, let me grow first. When I grow big, then I will start saving. Oh, there is something here. Because it is a mindset. It is an habit. That habit is what continues with you. It's very hard to break a habit. It's very, very hard to break habits. Very, very, very hard. Once you build into you, it is yours forever. It's hard to break. And it's also very hard to break into an habit you have never walked inside before. If you are not a saver, you are not a saver. There's nothing anybody can say. I shared the story of how we were still very young. I think we were 19, 20. One of my friends in the community went and did one fast business. I don't know, all those container business. And this guy made money and bought a car. We were still 19, 20. He bought a car, he came to the street. I was cruising around. And I was like, what? And the guy was like forming big board. The car didn't last 2 years. He had an accident with it. He doesn't have money to repay it. That was the end of the car. Fast forward. I can't remember the year, but I remember when we started Ice Money in 2012. This same guy I'm talking about was our messenger in the office. He was our messenger. I had to employ him because he was doing nothing. He was so jobless. So that thinking pattern is dangerous. That you are still waiting for the right time, because there will never be a right time. Something will keep happening every day, every month, every year, every month, every year. You will never get anything done. If you want to do something, just close your eyes and just do it. Just start. If you don't build the habit now, you won't suddenly start when money becomes bigger. You will never start. So the practical approach is that treat savings like a daily expense. How will you go to do it? So since you buy products, you are selling products, and every time you are selling products, you pay for other expenses like transportation, you pay for the marijuana, you pay for this, you pay for that. Every time you are paying out of the money you make, see your savings as part of the pay. You are paying into your future. See savings or investment as I'm paying, because you can't imagine collecting salary every month, and at the end of the year you're going to pay rent. You're going to buy gas, you are cooking, you buy rice, you buy slippers, you buy shoes, you buy clothes, you enter bus, you pay transportation, Molue or whatever whichever you enter. As you are paying those people from the money you made, are you paying your own future? Because when that future comes, this is the future we are talking about. Because this thing I'm saying, if you have been doing it 20 years ago, you have more money today, 20 years later. If you put that money in huge investment, you will know how much you have made today. So even as low as 500 or 1,000 every day matters a lot. With your recharge card person, you are selling a recharge card, and every day you sell. You buy recharge card, you sell it, you close for the day, you buy recharge card, you sell it for the day. Whatever money you have made for the day, you can be saving 500 every day. If you're doing a job, it does at the end of the month, it's about 15,000 naira. You can use that to buy in bulk and be a bigger bulk seller or bulk buyer. See, it's a concept of understanding of growth in life. This decision is left in your hand. If you don't want to grow, you want to remain where you are. So keep doing the same thing, the same business over and over, and then you tear yourself here and there because you can't meet up the demand. You are here, you are there, you are here, you are there, because time cannot be replaced. Once you spend it, it is gone. It is gone. The only thing that can be replaced is money. If you spend money now, you can make another one, you can make another one. And that's why you see rich people. Instead of them cooking by themselves, they will employ a cookatoon. They will employ a gardener. Okay, we understand gate man. No wala, gate man. Everybody needs a gate man. But you see, they rather pay those people than they themselves using their time to do it. They use their time to multiply the wealth they have created. So you have to want to decide what you want to do in life. Are you getting what I'm saying? So make higher profit margin. You can do it. Let's move to the next one. Yeah, small beginnings, great leverage. The next one says, control cash flow like your life depends on it. You have to control cash flow. Living below your means is the foundation of financial stability. It simply means spending less than you earn and consistently having something left over. Every time you make money and you have to finish all the money and then go and make another one, you are on a very bad path of the financial destruction, self-destruction. Every time you make money, you finish everything, you have to make another one to make another one to do expenses again. You have to go and work hard and make another one to do expenses again. That pattern of life is a very financial destructive life. Without this gap between income and expenses, there's nothing left. If you don't save, you are not safe. Every time you are spending, you need to be cautious and control what you are spending money on. If you are not, a lot of things will take money away from you and you are broke. You have to go and work hard again and make more money. And this is what makes well building impossible for a lot of people, regardless of how much they earn. If you are making there are people making 1 million every month, and yet they are still broke. Because what is taking money from them is not controllable. And this lesson also highlights that increasing income alone does not guarantee financial progress. If you're earning so amount of money and then you move to another one, yes, it could give you some succor, but doesn't mean you are making financial progress in terms of building wealth. Many people earn money but also spend the money, so leaving them still in the same financial position. And true progress comes from the controlling expenses. When you control the expenses and you create surplus, because it's surplus that actually makes you rich. That surplus is what eventually becomes investment and assets. If there's no surplus, then you are still as broke as whatever amount of money you're making. Is somebody getting me tonight? Oh, now there should be 3. So, reinvesting before you enjoy profit. The next one. A lot of people, they make money, they enjoy the money before they remember they need to invest. However, it should be the other way around. You need to reinvest before you enjoy the profit. Time is one of the most powerful tools in wealth building, and the earlier you start, the better. The more time you will have to build. When you're a teenager, you're a young person, all this message we are sharing here, if you have children who are about that age, this is the best time you need to encourage them and teach them. This is the best time for you to groom them into investing into their future. Start buying things. That understanding assets and liability. If you teach them, when they go to university, they know how to manage resources, they become good kids. Because if you have done it while you are younger, by now you will have multiplied the wealth, because it takes time to build. And that's why every time for me, I'm doing something, I'm always on the long haul. I want to be on it for that long time, regardless of what people are saying. Is somebody getting me tonight? So even small, regular control can outperform larger investment made later in life. If you say, okay, now I'm 40, I'm 50, or I'm 54, or 55, I want to make an investment, I'm looking for 2 million, I'm looking for 3 million. But if you have started as even as 1 naira 30 years ago, I can bet you that investment would have grown into something bigger now. I remember at that time, they were asking me to go and buy a land after Winners. So in Sango, we bought those lands inside the bush for 40,000. 40,000 was still a lot of money then, but of course, how much 40,000 now? You can't even carry 40,000 to the market to buy pepper soup. The thing will be finished in 2 seconds. Now, but go and see how much they are selling land there now, 3 million, 4 million. So that means today, if I remove 15, 20 years ago when I bought that land, and I did not buy it. So if I want to buy it now, I'm grown. If I want to buy it now, you see, I'll be looking for 4 million to buy the same land. That means a smarter small investment over time can outperform a huge investment in the future. So this is the future now. I need 4 million to buy a land after Winners. But my other self, younger self, 15 years ago, I bought a land for 40,000, and then I fold my hand. I'm not doing anything. It's only that 40,000. Except you go there, you cut the grass, you plant corn, you harvest corn. Apart from that, but that land is yours. Apart from that. So, but appreciation, assets appreciation begin to happen on the land, and the land increase value. So today, if it's called 4 million, that means if my future self want to buy the same land now, I will need a lot of money. And if I cannot raise that 4 million, that means I won't buy that land. So sometimes what you are looking for money for now, you could have actually put effort into that thing some 10, 15, 20 years ago. Consistency is just as important as starting early in life. So if you've not done it, then this is the best time for you to do it. Investing is not about occasional large effort, but about steady, repeated action over time. By developing a habit of investing regularly, you reduce the pressure of trying to raise money in your now. You reduce the pressure. You reduce the pressure because you wait for the perfect opportunity. When is the perfect opportunity? It's never perfect opportunity. So don't fall. Investing before you enjoy the profit. This is where Nigerian businesses, when most people business in Nigeria get stuck. So the mistake is, as soon as I make the money, as soon as the money comes in, what people do is that they buy phone, new phone, they upgrade their lifestyle, they spend impulsively, one best, different kind of things. But the smarter way they are supposed to do when money comes in is first grow the business first and enjoy money later. The fashion designer who is making 200,000 profit, instead of spending the money, he uses 120 to buy better sewing machines. Production speed will increase, income will increase. Reinvestment is what turns the hustle into a business. That means when you are doing something now, the business you are doing now, if you are not expanding on the business, buying more machines or renting a bigger space, buying more equipment, in the last 5 years you are doing the business, or 4 years you are doing business, and you are still doing the business, now only you and I and yourself, just your mouth and your pocket, every time customer pay you, and that's all you have been doing. and you are not expanding the business, you are not buying machines, you are not buying property, you are not putting things on ground, assets on ground through the money you make. That means by the time you get older, you find out that there are other competitors in that industry that will take those businesses you think you are doing. And then you don't make enough money, you don't make enough income, and then you are weak to run up and down. You now find there's no investment on ground that will sustain you. That becomes the huge problem. So the next one, wealth is a habit, not an event. Wealth, when people say, oh, somebody is rich, it's not like an event, it's a habit. Wealth is not created by a single luck moment or breakthrough. Baba Jebu, no. You made 10 million from Baba Jebu, that doesn't mean you are wealthy. These are two different things. You only made money. We'll wait and see what you've done with the money in the next 2 years. It is the result of repeated behaviors over time. So daily habits such as savings, budgeting, and making thoughtful financial decisions play a far greater role than occasional big wins. And this lesson shifts the focus from external opportunities to internal discipline. Am I talking to somebody tonight? External opportunity versus internal discipline. That means, even in Greenfield, if we give you opportunity to make money, if you are not personally disciplined, you will not. Even if Baba Jebu they show you the magic number and you win 10 million. If you are not personally disciplined, you will squander all the money. So it is not how much we all make. It is not the opportunities that are available out there for us. If you have just like the story of Joseph, he was already prepared before he went into slavery. The same thing with Daniel. These guys were prepared before they went into slavery. So when they got there, opportunity only meets preparation. So when you are not prepared, when you're not disciplined, when you don't cultivate the habit of savings, when opportunities show up out there, you are nowhere to be found. Even if you capture the opportunity, you now find out that inside of you, personally, you're not disciplined, you're not prepared, then the opportunity will just slide away. In practice, this means that your financial future is shaped by what you do consistently, not what you do once. It's about what you do consistently. Can somebody understand why we are building Greenfield Community now? And every time we come, you will say we are building means it's a continuous thing. You see, people will come, they will go. But let them go, because in the next 5 years, they will just walk up and down. I don't know the English word. You know what they call rally? You know what they call rally? Everywhere. They will go and come back. They call themselves network market. They go there, they will destroy this place, they will destroy that place. They will kick them here, they will kick them there. They will come back, they say Greenfield is still standing. And we're going to be on course. It is that little thing. For me, I don't care what people say. I'm not even in your environment. So whatever anybody is saying, it will enter my head. I am focused as the sailor of this ship, the one that is steering steering this ship, this community. We are steering it to the promised land. We are taking it on a journey. We are going on that journey one step at a time. So whatever anybody is saying doesn't make any difference, because we are going on a journey. And as we keep going, those who align their mindset to what we're doing will eventually find themselves in the platform. And those who feel no, they will go, they will say, come on, you guys are still doing this. Yes, we are still here. And this is how far we have gone since we left. People who build wealth tend to follow structured routine and maintain control over their money. They are not the kind of people you just call to them and say, hey, something happened, a barista died, you bring 100,000, and they'll put their hand in their pocket and give you 100,000. Now, yeah, sorry, all the money in my hand, they are all planned for. They are disciplined people with their money. They know where they are going in life, and they put their resources where their heart is. Where is their heart? Building wealth for their future. So they put their money there. That's their heart. But people whose heart is just in the present, they are just enjoying life right now. They want to continue enjoying it. So they put money in one bed, they go and do parties, they go and gyrate. No, I'm not saying you should not do parties. I'm not saying you should not support families. But you need to give yourself brain. The amount of money you give to parties and family and all of that should be less than the amount you are investing into your own future. Because if anything happens to you, they will not carry your picture into social media and be saying they want to raise money for you. God forbid bad thing. Did that not happen to you? So build a strong financial habit, not just hard work. A lot of people are working hard, but you really need to build that habit. You need discipline, planning, consistent. So the hustle you are hustling now, you can turn that hustle into a big time business. In light of us, we all started hustling. I hustle too. Everybody hustle at one time. Even the biggest Dangote you see today, at some time in his life, 1974, he was hustling. His first set of business, he started with bag of rice and bag of garri. He was begging people to buy from him. Everybody will go through it. I saw a video of what's it called? Amazon in his father's garage. Old video last week. In his father's garage, when he started Amazon on his computer, and there was old cable extension wire. He wanted to use that extension wire for his father. So he borrowed it from his father, and his father carried the camera. It was his father that was shooting the video. That video that they are showing now last week. He just publish that video. And then inside that garage, you see all kind of junk yard, all kind of jatty, everything inside that garage. And they use one corner and put his table and chair was with. And you see the video, you know it's old video. And then they were not talking about the cord. They said that the father was telling him that you took my cord. He said, yeah, it's an old cord. That I need to use it now. There's nothing I can do now. Because he doesn't even have money to buy extension wire. He has to use father extension wire. As at that time, in his mindset, at his position that time, he was hustling. But you see, you can scale your hustle into business. We have all been there. Everybody who has made money in life, who have created wealth, they have hustled at some time in their life. But you can, through discipline planning, and bring those habits to life. Save daily savings or weekly, whichever works for you. Record your transaction. Avoid impulse spending. Don't just carry money and go and put here because they say they are doing this. So go and put money there. Anything that does not secure your future, you have to use small budget for them and put big budget for what secures your future. You know, 2 shop owners, both earn similar income. One track everything expands in 1 year, and the other one doesn't, remain stagnant. So habits determine long-term success. If you want to be successful, then you have to make it an habit for long term. Lastly, think beyond daily survival. See, our main problem is that we want to survive for the day. Any money I make today, I can use it to pay all my EBC. Pay this, transportation, give Yarisika, I buy ram, I buy meat, I buy vegetable, you need to take your own. Oh, children, you're going to school tomorrow, you need to take your own. By the next day, you want to go and work hard again to make another money. It's what is called survival instinct. Any money is important, but it is not the ultimate goal. The real objective is financial freedom. The point where your money and investment can support your lifestyle without constant active work anymore. So someone can earn a high income and still struggle financially if they spend everything they make. So focus on financial freedom, not just the income. For me, as a person, I have lost interest in income a long time ago. If that thing is not focusing on my future, I'm not interested. Long time ago. And this lesson encourages a shift in thinking. Instead of you working only for money, you should aim to make your money work for you. You have to, every time you are working every day, you go to work and come back, you go and struggle and go and hustle and come back. You are thinking your mindset, I've come back today, thank God. How much do I have? Okay, make sure out of it, at least 20% or 10%, remove it immediately. The same way you are removing your tithe. Some of us who are Christians, who are religious. Same way. When pastors are collecting 10% from you, you should take 10% and keep for your own future too. It will be a sorry state. If all of you are paying 10% tithe in your church and your pastor is buying Jeep and normal Jeep and everything, and they get on the pulpit and lie that he doesn't need your tithe. How will he need your tithe? After he has used the tithe. See, he has used the tithe to build hospital, build university, buy a land, build a big auditorium. Even if only you, you are just one out of many members. If only you say, I'm angry, you want to leave. Even though you leave, the man done popular already, other people will come. He has used your time to raise his profile. You know, say everybody in a celebrity. Now celebrity, they make money. You don't know. If you to become a celebrity, you say how much you make. So either you're a religious celebrity or a public celebrity or lifestyle celebrity. Everybody in a celebrity. The same way they will worship Oyedepo is the same way they will worship Anthony Joshua. You see security guy will follow him. Everybody, political, everybody is a celebrity. So which celebrity are you? Local celebrity, nobody follow you because you carry your money, give people. And then they become celebrity, use the struggle. So you have to create your own celebrity, save into your own future. So that when you become millionaire, you can now employ cook, employ gate man, employ gardener to cut your grass. You are now a local celebrity. So when you come, you will say, okay, where comes up? They will welcome you too. You are now a celebrity. If you don't save for the future, you won't be able to achieve that thing. Except you want to go and rob a bank. So my advice for you is that over time, this knowledge you have will help you reduce dependency on active labor. You won't need to be struggling anymore. You have to do things in a more easier way. Many businesses operate in what they call survival mode. Sell today, eat it today, repeat the same thing tomorrow. That's a circle. The circle that keeps you stuck in that same business. The mindset needs to change. How can this business grow without me and always being there? And that's why most of us in Nigeria, when we travel, our business collapse because we have not set up the system. I keep talking about the system. You need to grow to that point where you have to build the system. So that when you build the system, you can travel for vacation, go everywhere. And you will not be thinking that something's happening with your business. Way to do it, train staff or your apprentice. Create multiple income stream. Automate what? Simple processes. That is what's called building system. A barber works alone. So when the day he stops working, his income will stop whenever he doesn't go to shop. But if he trains 2 apprentices, then the 2 of them will be working while he's not there. That's the beginning of financial freedom. Or lastly, change your money pattern completely. So many people follow a simple cycle of earning money and immediately spend it, leaving nothing for the future. This pattern also keeps them financially stagnant, regardless of how much they earn. So this chapter, the whole of this chapter, I think is the last one, emphasizes that they need to break the cycle and replace it with a more productive one. It's important. The better approach is to prioritize saving and investment before saving. So every time you make money, how do I save for my future should be the first thing in your heart than even before tithe. No, that's the truth. That's the truth. It's not tithe as the first. It's your future that's the first. Because person will not get money when he become older. How will he pay more tithe? He will not become a beggar in the church. Say, hey, go and give that old man bag of rice. And that's why we are still up to today following politicians with bag of rice and one cup of garlic. Today, because we don't give ourselves brain. We don't yarn ourselves brain. So take care of your future first through your business. We have talked about the business, why you should build business first. We talked about that before. So with that, prioritize that before spending. Any other spending can come later, but do your savings first, your investment. By constantly setting aside a portion of your income first, you ensure that building wealth becomes automatic rather than optional. It's not optional. For me, my future is important. I'm not waiting for what my children will come and build for, because you don't even know what will happen tomorrow. So instead of you, if you are waiting for the children, instead of you have the opportunity, build the wealth. And the Bible even said, how did he say, that a wise man build what? He leaves inheritance for children. So what the inheritance? Why are you raising children waiting for the day they will come and be the one to help your life when you grow older? When the Bible says you should be the one to give the inheritance to them, why are you waiting? Why so build the inheritance? Don't wait that because you are sending your children to school does not mean see, my money I'm giving you now, I'm raising you to build your future. That's the only thing I'll give you. When I grow older, you be the one that will come and feed me. You feel gentle though, so don't wait on that. Build your own future. So when you eat surplus, if it remain, you can hand it over to them when you are going. Somebody listen to me. So make sure, look at the formula right on your screen as we give it a close tonight. The formula says this is an old pattern, very common old pattern. You earn, you spend, no savings, you start again. This is the new pattern. You earn, you spend, you save, you reinvest, you grow. You see, before you what? Before you spend. 3 things come into from the earning and from spending. You earn, you spend, no savings, then you start again. That's the old version. The new version says earn, save, reinvest, grow your investment, and then the remaining whatever is left from your savings you can go and spend. How to implement this immediately before touching your daily savings, maybe your daily sales. When you make money every day, you go to work, you come back, make money, or you collect your salary, whichever one that comes to your hand, either daily or monthly. Save 10%. Set aside for that money for investment. Only spend what is remaining. So out of the remaining 90%, you can give another 10% to your church or to your mosque, to your imam. If you don't have one, you can go to the street and give area boys or give beggars. But make sure you save your own for your future, right? That will change your life for the future. This ensures that your business grows automatically and your future also grows. You don't build wealth from big deal or sudden luck or one-time success. You build wealth from small, consistent actions. Small money decisions every day. Smart money decisions every day. Long-term thinking, that is what makes it. Running a business without saving or investing is like fetching water with a basket. No matter how hard you work, you will always lose everything. And you don't want to lose everything. So, when you save and invest, and you control the spending, you finally store and grow your efforts. Income can be unpredictable, but discipline creates stability. Definitely, you all know. So save small, amount consistently, avoid unnecessary debt, invest wisely, and you can grow from small hustle to stable business, even in tough economy. Thank you, and God bless you. So for those who have not joined the community, please join through the link that we will share in the chat board. If someone has invited you, somebody's asking what is this group about? Taiwo Salako